The Beast is back. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch still churning out big games like he did a week ago, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Cole Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Put in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Again, here's Bernard. pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Dalton here from the gun. And that's complete to the throw. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A Bengal first down, Dalton hitting LaFell. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Dalton goes to Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it into Bernard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He drops it off to Bernard. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Going deep for Eifert. And that is going to be incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Marshawn Lynch. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. It's quite a unit. #1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes. See if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. He's got his man, complete. A big play, Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green, and even 50 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 33. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it here with Bernard. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Dalton, play to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati 1st.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
First and 10 for Dalton. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. 4-time Pro Bowler Derek Johnson. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Bernard. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Dalton. Got his man, it's Eifert. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
We're good. 93.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The numbers for Marshawn a week ago. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 3-0 is our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, the run with Lynch. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw after the play fake to Lynch. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Throwing his car on 3rd down. They dump it over to Lynch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On first down, Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a long... of a yard, and it'll be second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Working from the gun, it's caught. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Returning it, John Ross. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Over here, over here.
Second down, Dalton. With the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Dalton, bootlegs out. That's complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And a catch good. It's Eifert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And it'll be Dalton again. And a grab by Croft. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From midfield here, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. 45 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. To run with Mixon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely over. Overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Dalton on 3rd and goal. Down there, it's LaFell for the Bengal touchdown. Brandon LaFell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this, after that throw, his hands will hurt later, not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And that'll be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here now, Johnny Townsend on for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken from just outside the 30. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Here's Dalton. He he completes it to Bull. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Second and goal from inside the 5. Another chance for Dalton. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And the Bengals on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. This will be Dalton again. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead is now 17-3. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here's Carr to throw, and that's off the mark, incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or it could have been trouble. Here now a look at A.J. Green. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that'll make it 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The 16-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now this time, Carl throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Mike Williams, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Sam Bradford. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Case Keenum leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching has been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taking just shy of the 10 here. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Third quarter starts with a run from Lynch. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Get down, 180.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well. Kid
born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over him. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now after the play, it's Marshawn Lynch who appears to have been shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On second down, here's Carr. Oh, no, the Smith. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. One receiver to the left is Cooper. To throw, it's Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Second and 10. Dalton once more. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now the Bengals on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4. Passing. It's Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. And it's going to be a short field to work with after this one. It's touchdown at the 45-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll try to get something going to Marshawn Lynch. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Carr to throw on second down. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing his Carr on third down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. A right side completion here by LaFell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Fake here on 1st down. Trying to get it to LaFell, but it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And Cook has it left side. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
6-18. Down. We're waiting.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Carl Lawson able to drop him for a loss of 4. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat. But they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with the ball. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw here, Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hey, 7:34.
Carr now on 1st down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Down. 180. Hey, 7:34. Express.
Carr now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Seth Roberts, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Monday, down. Waiting.
To throw his Carr. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He'll field this at the 5. put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start the drive with Lynch. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Tackle made that time by Chris Baker. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Carr on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the give, this is Lynch. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
On 3rd down, Carr. Caught by Nelson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at a quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, There's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
His throw incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Another look for Dalton on the 2nd and 10. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember, that coach, former defender in this league, he loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? And that's what we were taught, that's what we did, and they've used that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On the handoff, Lynch looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Sean Williams that time in on the stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run again with Lynch. And some room to run now. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And getting this just shy of midfield and spotted at the 49. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. He's back to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Big spot, Andy Dalton. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Bullet good on the extra point. They are in the 4th and Buffalo, and it was the Lions who emerged victorious in that one. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Now Carr. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now, you ready? You're mine.
To throw is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Cincinnati, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Oakland, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.